Hi, I'm Rachel, and I want to make some content to make TouchDesigner a bit more accessible to learn. So I'm going to run you through the basic rendering setup and how to instance in hopefully less than 5 minutes. Okay, so instancing, for those who don't know, is taking one object and repeating it algorithmically. And TouchDesigner is really great for that because it's parametric and you can kind of keep changing all the different parts. So we need to create something to be instanced. We need to make geometry in order to see it, and then we need to render it out. So here is the basic rendering setup that you can do for any time that you're using anything 3D first. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is a SOP. So I'm using a circle. I'm going to make it a lot smaller because I want to instance it later. Okay, cool. I have my circle, and this is like the most bare bones you can get. You're going to add geometry to that. So you have your one object, and then this is kind of how you can view it. Geometry. So in order to get this render to work, you need geo, you need a camera. These are all in the comp section here to show where the perspective is, and you need a light. There's a lot of specific things you can do with this, but basic, just put down your geo, your camera, and your light. And it's easiest to do a geo from the output of a SOP. Otherwise, you have to actually go in and connect it in a different way. So you have these three. Then you add a render top. And that is the basic setup. So this is the output of what you can see from your camera. So if I went to the parameters of the camera and I moved it slightly farther away, or closer together, closer to the shape, farther away, this moves the camera down, moves the camera up. Cool. The light has a lot of things you can customize too. A good example is the dimmer. You can see this is actually changing. Okay, cool. Now that you know how to render something, let's instance. So you have the object that you want to be repeated, and then you need the template. So I want this to go in a larger circle. So I'm going to create another circle SOP. Okay, I like having the archetype be open just so you can see it, and then the divisions are going to tell you how many points there are. So there should be 40 points. Okay, you go into your geo, and the third tab is for instancing. You click that and you put instancing on. Now you have all of these available to you. You want to drag the operator that you're using for the different positions of your instances into translate op. And then you select the parameters that it looks at. So to translate X, it's going to be P0. Translate Y, it's going to be P2. If this was P1. If this was a 3D shape, you'd have a translate Z, and that would be P2. But we only have these. So we see that it's repeating, but the shapes are too big, so you can't really see all the separate instances. So I'm going to take my original circle, and I'm going to make it a whole bunch smaller. There you go. I'm doing it gradually in case you haven't done this by holding down my middle mouse button, choosing the increment by hovering over it, and then dragging to the side. Awesome. So anything that you can adjust in the parameters of this second circle will adjust the overall shape. There's divisions, radius, etc. So that's the template, and that is the object.